All right, so remote learners, which I only should have. Is somebody absent today?
No.
No, okay, you don't need to say names. I should only have one in this class and one in the other class. So I'm down to two, hopefully down to one tomorrow. So thank you for listening to this video so you can go in and get your work done. We're not going to do a ton of crazy work today. We're not teaching a new lesson because this next lesson is the same thing that we've been doing, except we're identifying between a proportional and a non-proportional relationship based on the graph or the chart that we get. A lot of your work today, both my in-person students and my remote learners, can be done on a piece of paper and pencil while looking at your Chromebook or at your device. So go ahead and get out a piece of paper and a pencil. And if my remote learners want to just upload pictures of their work rather than using one of these PDFs here, you're allowed to do that. Because what we're going to do is we're going to do this problem on the problem set. We're going to walk through it, and then we're going to go back to the last lesson, and we're going to finish the exit ticket for homework. So let's get started by looking at this problem right here. All right, let's go ahead. Let me get to my 7th grade math page. All right, so Sally's aunt put money in a savings account for her on the day that she was born. So you should be this part of the page here. We're just scrolling all the way down to the problem set. The ratios below, the savings account pays interest for the that's how that said leaping. Wow. We're on the struggle bus today. So the savings account pays interest for keeping her money in the bank. The ratios below represent the number of years to the amount of money in the savings account. After 1 year, the interest accumulated, and the total amount in Sally's account was $312. Do you guys know how interest works? What banks do is they take the money that you put in the bank, and they use it. They invest it. They don't spend it. They put it to make more money because that's what you do, right? If you invest money, you can make a lot of money, and that's just what banks do to make a profit. They invest the money that's in there. And so how interest works is the percentage of the money that you have in there, and then they just add it on top of the money that you have in the bank account. Now, do you usually make a lot of money off of interest? No. Who has a savings account? You guys should a lot of you guys probably do, and you just don't know about it. But the interest that you make each year is probably like 50 cents to $1. It's not really that much. All right, so let's look at these numbers. After 1 year, the interest accumulated and the total in Sally's account was what? $312. After 3 years, the total was $340. After 6 years, the total was $380. After 9 years, the total was $430. And after 12 years, the total amount in Sally's saving account was $480. Using this, we're not going to do the same fourfold method, but we're going to create a table, create a graph, and then we're going to verbally talk and explain about whether or not it's a proportional relationship or not. So on your piece of paper, what I want you guys to do, along with me, is create a very beautiful chart. Years, and then moolah. We've talked about 1, was it 3, 6, 9, 12? Those are the years that we talked about, right? 1, 3, 6, 9, 12? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Raise your hand when you're there, when you've got that written down. Okay, hands down. Give you a couple seconds. And all of this information I'm about to ask you is in the problem that we just read. So how much money did they have in their bank account? Did Sally have in her bank account after 1 year? $312. I'll write this in red. How much did she have after 3 years? 340. How much after 6 years? 380. After 9? After 12? 480. Okay. You could probably tell this relationship is proportional right now. I mean, you could, based off of the information they gave you at the beginning. But let's do a little bit of work real quick just to see. Well, how many years difference is there here? 2. How much here? 3. And every time from here on down is 3, right? What is the difference here between 312 and 340? 28, which is how much per year? 2 years, 28 divided by 2 is what? 14. Does that make sense what I just did? I broke it down all the way to see how much it is per year. I took 28 divided by 2. The total here between years 3 and 6 is what? 40 divided by 3 years, which gives me a number that's funky, which I need calculators to help me with. I think I remember what it is from the first class, but I'm not completely sure. 13.3 repeating. Is this proportional? So far, is it? No? Is it going to change? Probably not. This is 50, and this is 50. The difference is 50 between each of those years, those 3 years. 50 divided by 3 is what? 1, there's 20 remainder, so it's like 16 point something, right?
Yeah.
16-ish. In other words, that's not proportional, correct? Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to graph this. And I'll use my fancy tool makers. What's your paper? On your paper. Yeah, I can just come by and look at your papers. I don't need to see this on a Chromebook. You're not going to be turning probably much anything into me on the Chromebook today. You can do the exit ticket on a piece of paper. Because all the great, remember how I told you that we should have our book and everything ready today? Guess what? 2020 happened. And books are here. I don't know. It should be later today. All right, let's look here. They go up. My book example does this really weird, so I'm going to do it that way. Just so you can see it and so you can figure it out. I know those aren't even, or at this point it's just comedic. How bad those lines are. All right, let's look here. The bottom should be the number of years, and the side should be the savings, the money. Years, and that should be saving. Five, 10, 15, and let's go by 100 on the side here. I put boo at the top, I guess. Hopefully you're not scared. Raise your hand if you're ready to graph. Okay. I'll wait a second. Get ready. All right. So whenever we start graphing, we're gonna graph years 1, 3, 6, 9, and 12. And year 1's gonna be like right here. Year 3's gonna be here. 6, 9, 12-ish. I'm marking those there so I have a reference point whenever I go up. After year 1, how much savings, how much money did they have saved up? And what we're going to do is we're going to reference back here. So after 1 year, there's how much money saved up? 312. That's right here. And I'm going to learn from my mistakes last class period and draw a nice solid dot. The last class period, the chart looked really eh. All right, year 3, how much money was saved? 340, which is right almost half. Way between 300 and 400. So right there. Year 6. 380, which is still below 400. Year 9. 430. Year 12. 480, which is kind of right here. Not really, but kind of. All right, let's plot those points. Really good graph there, high quality, very well drawn. I'm cringing under my mask. Is that proportional? No, it's pretty evident. You guys are pretty sure of that. But what I want to ask you is why? What are 2 reasons? What are the 2 precautions, the check boxes that it had to meet to be proportional? What's one of them?
It didn't the origin.
It didn't pass through the origin. Yep, passes. These are our requirements. And the next checkbox it's got to meet is what? It has to be a straight line. Why did I put the word K or the letter K there? Constant, because I'm not saying K like good job. No, the K is because it has to have a constant or go up by the same amount each time. Right? Did it check these boxes here? No. Did not check those boxes. So that's why it's not proportional.
Isn't it straight line?
Not really, because remember how we looked here? Right here. How it went up by 14 per year, then 13 per year, and then 16 per year. So
barely,
it's close. Now, if it was all 15 a year or 14 a year, then yeah, it would be proportional. Like say it went up, I don't know, 18 times 3, which would be 54, right? Or it would be 14 times 3 is what I'm looking for. So it would be 52 times 3, which is, wait, 52 times 3. In other words, if it would have went from 340 to 392 and then kept going up by 52, then that would have been proportional. But it didn't. It went from 40 to 50 to 50. So, all right. Any questions? No. Okay. What I want you to do is I want you to go, and remote learners too. I want you to open up the 9.2 folder here. I want you to go to the exit ticket. Now this class had a little bit extra time last day to work on the exit ticket. But your homework is to do this lesson ticket. All on a piece of paper. There's 3 problems. I'll leave it there. Your homework is to do that, and you guys should have plenty of time, especially in class, because you guys have about 20 minutes. Okay?
Wait, didn't we do this?
You've done some of it. What I want you to do is I want you to plot this out and draw it on the piece of paper that you have, and I want to see it. Okay?
It's not popping up what I already did.
Okay, but I want you to do it on a piece of paper. All right. So far these lessons have been pretty easy, right? Tomorrow we're going to have a quiz that we're taking online, my remote learners. It'll be available to you at 8 a.m. and you can click on it anytime after that and take it. And then that's going in the grade book. So make sure that you're not just kind of not working too hard on it. Make sure you work hard and finish it and do as best as you can on it. All right. Any questions? If you have a question on the remote learning, email me mmartin@somerville.com or leave a comment at the bottom, just like somebody did the other day. That was kind of weird, and it wasn't any of our students. It might have been one of our students. I'm not sure, but have a good day. Especially all my students awkwardly looking at me right now.
Like and subscribe.
Huh?
I said like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Smash